Do you find yourself in the situation where you've got a notebook and just sometimes an environmental issue or something else causes a minor failure and all it takes is rerunning the notebook and it would complete just fine? Well, in today's chapter, we're going to talk about one option you have for implementing retry logic based on a recent feature added into Microsoft Fabric on today's chapter of DataBard. DataBard, 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 hoi, hoi, hoi. Hey everybody, this is DataBard. Before we get into today's video, reminding you that like us data professionals on this channel, we like data. The YouTube algorithm also likes data. So if you want to help us and find this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so others in the community can find out that this video is helping data professionals. Let's get into the video. First, let's actually take a look at the configuration itself, which is done using the configure magic, one of the many magics you have available within Fabric Notebooks. In our notebook, in our first cell, we have a configuration defined. #configure allows us to do the configuration, and then we have a JSON structure that actually gives us the definition itself. In this case, the new option that is available as of last month is retryable options. What this allows you to do is to define a number of retries of your notebook, and if for any reason the notebook fails, the process attempts to run again. Now, I've intentionally written this notebook to fail, in that, alright, defining a parameters cell, not all that interesting, but this next one, clearly we're doing something that doesn't make sense. We're dividing 1 by 0. Anything divided by 0 is going to generate an error, and we can quickly confirm that with a quick run here. That's our setup. We just need the quick configuration, and because we're wanting to prove that it works, a quick test to confirm that our notebook is going to fail. Now we need to actually test for failure, which, as we've already seen in this video, just running this ad hoc isn't going to actually trigger the error. Once it failed once and it stopped. Well, usually retries involve scheduling, so that means we should probably go and try and schedule this. So what if we were to schedule this using the scheduling capabilities innately available within a notebook? I'll save you the demo and tell you that doesn't work. I tried multiple attempts of having this run on a schedule utilizing the schedule directly associated to the notebook, and the retry didn't trigger. Well, if we take a look at the documentation affirms that that is expected. To get this retry to actually work, there are specific ways that you have to call the notebook. If we look at the documentation, we can quickly see here that it references specifically the retry policy only supports notebook executions by public APIs, data integration pipelines, or kicked off via an event stream. Having a schedule associated to the notebook on its own will not trigger the retry logic. So let's go and try one of the cases that should actually work. I've now created a Fabric pipeline, and it's a very simple pipeline. All it does is it calls our notebook, and we don't really need to pass in parameters to test this out. So it's a simple just call the notebook as it exists. Let's run this and see what happens. Upon running this pipeline as expected, the notebook failed, so the pipeline failed, and it's still only registering a single failure here. If we take a look at that, it's still running the expected 0 division error division by 0. Alright, so it gave us the expected error, but did it actually run 3 times? If we click in and take a look at the monitor, we don't see a whole lot of information here, other than the fact that running duration was only for 15 seconds. But if we would look back at the previous screen said it took almost 5 minutes to run the whole notebook. So what happened? Well, we need to go back to the documentation, and the documentation gives us the answer. The setup restarts the notebook up to 3 times with about 120 seconds in between attempts. Well, that means we had 3 attempts, so that means 120, 120, 240 seconds in between. Add on a couple of extra seconds to actually attempt things, and you get to about 4.5 to 5 minutes of time. That's where, at least if you take a look at the snapshot of the notebook, it may be a little bit misleading. It'll say it did fail, it only ran for a small period of time. This doesn't really show you that it did the retry, but it did based on the amount of time that transpired. To make sure we're getting the same consistent experience across multiple ways of calling the notebook per the documentation, let's try with at least one more option, which is calling it from the public API. In this case, I'm going to at least have a simple script here, import a couple of libraries. We're going to at least authenticate into the APIs. This is where we get into dot land. Don't look at my dots. Type in the dots here. Alright, dots are entered in, so we have our token in place. Couple of variables to set up here for environment variables. We'll set a couple of extra things here as far as parameters, which again aren't necessary for this demo, as well as headers for the request itself. And at least a quick test shows that we did successfully authenticate because we can hit the workspace. Alright, moment of truth. Let's actually call our notebook and see if it executes. Notebook executed successfully. And we're getting statuses back. Our process is running. Let's wait a couple minutes and see what happens. And at least quick tip here, if you're wanting to monitor this and don't necessarily want to use the URL and just keep hitting the API, which you would do in more of an automated state, for something like this, these types of runs do end up showing up in the monitoring section of Fabric. You're able to check the status of these jobs here. Similar to the pipeline, the job has been running for a couple of minutes right now. It hasn't posted a failure yet, but I'm guessing it only posts a failure when the entire job fails, not necessarily when a given instance of it fails. Alright, process ran. As expected, things failed. We got the status of failed here from the response, and this shows up in the monitoring UI as well. But again, similar to what we saw with the pipeline, when you take a look at the status of the notebook, just notice that when we get to start time and end time, notice between start time and end time, only a couple of seconds have transpired. Again, it's not looking at the full run, it's only looking at the most recent attempt of running the notebook. So unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of visibility into how many retries occurred and that full experience, but you can at least see the instance of the last run. And I can tell you, I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes, so I know, similar to the pipeline, we had about 120 second delay in between each instance of retrying the notebook. There we go, we've been able to successfully prove that you now can use the configuration within a notebook to define the retry logic and put it right within the definition of your notebook. Is this the most useful feature? Well, given the fact that it only works with pipelines and API calls and event streams, which already have some level of retry logic already built into them, I wouldn't say this is necessarily the best thing unless you prefer having a very advanced configuration of your notebooks and you just want to have a retry logic embedded in the notebook itself. But I imagine for a lot of people, if you're wanting to go for approaches to implementing retries with your notebooks, you do have some more friendly approaches to doing things that don't require you to create a configuration. Brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks for watching, and as always, like, subscribe to the channel if you find this video helpful, and make sure to share with other people who think might get value from this as well. Have any follow-up questions or any thoughts about how to do this differently? Let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to engage with you there. For now, I'm DataBard, and I'll see you in the next chapter.